and it's a we are deploying so many resources and everything, and we'll try to understand the how to reduce the cost, how to look into the cost, how to like somebody asking you if it is a we are going to deploy these resources, how much cost for this, and please share the that cost budget or something they will ask you, and so many things they will ask you. So in this scenario, how to get that cost, that thing, as well as ROI, that means return of investment. That is also we'll look into that. So first we'll try to understand the Azure pricing calculator. From Azure pricing calculator, we can get the all the resources cost related guys from this place. And if you see, this is a Azure pricing calculator given by Microsoft. And if you come to down, and you can see here all type of categories like compute, networking, storage, web, mobile, containers, database, analytics, like that, all the content, different services what they are providing, all the services they given. And if you want search it, like suppose in which category I'm not sure, I want search it that category of instead of that one, that's particular resource I'm going to search it. Like suppose example policy, Azure policy, you can see here, click on Azure policy and click on view, and you can understand the things. And Azure policy guest configuration, one server wise, and totally 494.96 rupees per month approximately they mention. So it's a like this is a wise is a guest configuration wise they mention. So there is no charges for using the Azure policy, you can see. So if you are mentioned the differently, and that is a different, but there is no charges for using the Azure policy. Azure policy using that is a one, there is no cost. But if you are configuring some server, like I'm not pretty sure this is a what is this one. Let me check it as a Azure policy guest configuration. What exactly this is a one, I'm not pretty sure. Let me check it. So how it works. And but is a normally Azure policies, there is no cost. They clearly mention Azure policy guest configuration. What exactly this is a one. So the guest configuration extension component Azure policy that performs the audit and configuration operation inside virtual machine. Okay, policies such as a security baseline definition for Windows and Linux cannot check the settings inside the mission until the extension is installed. Okay, got it. Let me tell you. So what exactly this is a one means, guys. Normally Azure policy there is no cost if you apply it. It's Azure portal level. There is no cost applicable. But when we apply the some of the bench policies, like security baselines, like you heard about Windows Server security baselines, we need to follow it. Like hardening, Windows Server hardening and Linux server hardening, like generally we'll talk about. And as per that, just that configuration needs to be validated and properly working or not. That means that as per policies are following or not, and audit report is required. In this scenario, Microsoft is providing Azure policy guest extension to install on that servers, and it's going to validated that baseline hardening, that security policies and everything. That is a thing they are mentioned. One server cost is a monthly approximately you have to pay 494.96 rupees. Okay, 494.96 rupees we have to pay. If it is a OS level, it's a validating. Normally is a Azure portal level, there is no cost, but OS level validating audit and get the report, and they are saying that 494.96 rupees is a we have to pay money, guys. Okay, understood everyone what I'm saying? Same like it here we can go like virtual machine, and just a minute, click on view and virtual machine. Especially why I'm taking means there are a lot of options is available in virtual machine. That's the reason I'm taking this virtual machine. And first of all, you need to understand everyone depends on the region that cost is going to vary. If you observe right now West US, that is a 12,586.07 rupees. If I'm going to select it East US2 and 11,321.44 rupees. So that means depends on the region that cost is going to vary, guys. That cost is going to vary. Okay, so that's the reason depends on your requirement exactly which location I want is going to deploy it. Where we are going to deploy it depends on that. That cost also it's going to vary. And if it is a Windows license included here, and that license cost is a per month approximately 5,540.28 rupees. Okay, that is a one. And it's a Linux, there is no charges, there is no license because of Microsoft is not providing that license. You need to bring your own license from the Ubuntu or Red Hat or something, from that customer or that vendor. You need to get it if you really want. So right now I don't have. So you can select the Windows and OS in the with not only OS, it's an additional application like BGTalk or SQL Server, anything included. If you include the BGTalk, include the BGTalk software cost also. That license cost also approximately per month. So that cost also included here. That means you need to understand software cost is a different and OS license cost is a different. Okay, something you can say. So instead of BGTalk SQL, and I'm going to use the something third-party software. Third-party software, you won't use the free trial or pirated version. Generally, in companies, they will take the license. They will take the license accordingly. They will run it. So before going to take it that license, you need to check with the your vendor and how is the cloud supporting and everything. You need to look into that accordingly only you can utilize it. If it is they are not supporting, if you are use it, it will might be work, but in case of any future it's any problem, they won't support it. That's the reason you have to look into that. That license is a supporting or not, you have to look into that. You have to check with the custom like vendor, that software vendor. You need to check with that. Most of the 99.9% they are supporting, but in case of anything, you need to check with your vendor.
And Kiran, you said we need to take the separate license. Where do we need to apply actually while creating? So let's say
Uh,
we have a license.
Yes, you can apply it. That's not a problem. If you are using as a virtual machine, you can apply it.
Okay, in this scroll only you will get the option to apply the license.
No, here nothing. It's a just we are checking here cost. Where you apply
Okay.
it, where you install on that virtual machine only, you will install the license also. You will apply
Oh,
on that also.
okay,
Okay.
on the VM.
Just here we are understanding the cost related.
Okay,
Just what is what, and like that we are understanding the costing. Okay.
okay,
And coming to here, and depends on the VM size, like 2 CPU, 8 GB RAM. Accordingly, that cost also it's going to vary. You can see 14 GB RAM and if, 605 GB temporary and 8 core CPU, and cost is a 47,694.59 rupees. So depends on the VM size also, that cost is going to vary, guys. That's the reason when you are trying to deploy it, try to like deploy the virtual machine, lowest virtual machine, so that it's a like you are practicing purpose I'm talking about. If it is a real time, so depends on the customer requirement only, you are going to deploy that particular VM size. Okay, generally real time they will give the that VM size details. Accordingly we are going to deploy it. In case of they are not given, going forward in virtual machine module we'll discuss, there is a separate tool is available. Accordingly we can write VM sizes also, we can get it. That's not a problem. Okay, and coming to here, and approximately 730 hours, that means approximately 1 month cost is a they are providing here. Okay, and coming to here, Microsoft given the some of the like before that, let me some of the VM sizes it won't support the this you know cost related, especially saving plan, other things is things it won't support it, and you can see now, and here by default is a pay as you go. As a pay as you go wise, you are going to pay 18,547.89 paisa every month. But I want discount. How I will get the discount? Microsoft given the different plans for that. Saving plan, 1 year and 3 years, 1 year reserved and 3 years reserved. What exactly this is a one? If you go with the reserved, first we'll try to understand the below two things. 1 year reserved and 3 years reserved. So if you reserved 1 year, you are getting the approximately 53% of discount. Here 3 years reserved, 70% discount you are getting. What is exactly reserved means? Reservation of this particular VM sizes next 3 years, and starting only we have to pay money. We have to pay money, and like if you selected, you can see accordingly it's showing the cost approximately that entirely 3 years cost starting only we have to pay money, guys. We have to pay 3 years cost starting only, so that you will get the 70% of discount. Normally pay as you go 18,000, but if you 3 years reserved, what how much you are it's reduced, half of the amount above is a reduced, 70% of discount you are getting. Okay, 70% of discount you are getting, guys. So totally you are reducing the your cost. So why it's showing 9,777.39 means, guys, try to understand. If I'm selected this one, software license, remove it, and normally pay as you go, how much cost? 14,000 rupees. 14,000 rupees. And if you 3 years reserved, 4,000 only. That means approximately you are getting the 70% discount, and we are adding the voice license. That's the reason it's showing the 9,000. So generally people think 18,000, 50% means 9,000 change. Same thing we are getting, but exactly 50% only, but they mentioned 70%. So due to this reason, okay, there is a license, there is no license is a not including wise, you can check it. If it is a including wise, you can check it. It's a differ, and you can understand exactly. Okay, if you are reserving the things 1 year or three years, and starting only we have to pay accordingly, we'll get the discount 70% or 53%. Okay, coming to what about saving plan? Recently they introduced the 1 year saving plan or 3 year saving plan. What exactly this is a one? Same thing, like 1 year it's a 53, but here 13% only. Here 3 years is a like 32%, but here 70%. Why is that they mention like this? Because of, if you go with the 3 year saving plan, so that amount you are not going to 3 years amount you are not going to paying at starting only. Monthly you can pay. So 30% discount they will give it. Accordingly, monthly you can pay the amount. That amount 3 years monthly, how you are paying the pay as you go wise, and that pay as you go wise you will get the 32% discount. Remaining amount you are going to pay money. Next 3 years you are committing, I'm going to utilize it this VM size next 3 years, and monthly I'm going to pay money. That's the reason 3 years saving plan or 1 year saving plan. So that's the reason every month you are paying. That's the reason they given the discount also reduce it. The discount also they reduce it here. Understood, everyone? But very recently they given this plan. Any questions on this? And coming to where we can reserve means reserve instance reservation. If you given the reservation and purchase now, and that specific services we can purchase from the here. That specific services we can purchase it here. Virtual machine, and that VM sizes it will show you. Generally in my subscription it won't support it. That's the reason it won't show you, guys. Don't worry. And generally real time they will it will show to us here, and accordingly they will purchase it 3 years or 1 year, and accordingly they will reserve the instance. So here not only virtual machine, you can see different variety of services they are providing, and these all services you can reserve the next 1 year or 3 years, like that. We can reserve the things, guys. We can reserve the things. So even virtual machine software reservation also recently they given, and softwares, like that means third party companies what they are providing, all the third party instead of Microsoft, third party companies what they are providing, all the softwares they given, and from this also we can get the reservation. From this also we can get the reservation and we can reduce the cost. Okay, I hope is clear to everyone how to reserve the things. And this reservation we can't do it, guys. Everyone can't do it. Especially reservation can able to perform the there is a separate role is available, uh, that person like owner role and reservation related some role is available, they can able to do it. Okay, so those people only can able to do it reservation related. Remaining all the roles cannot able to purchase it or reservation cannot able to do it. Okay, hopefully understand. Any questions up to now reservation wise? And
Okay.
additional disk, if you are going to use the virtual machine, and normally C drive you are getting and temporary drive you are getting, but instead of that one, any additional disk, accordingly that cost also applicable, as well as storage transitions, that means read and write and other operation storage transition cost also applicable, as well as bandwidth. So you are one region to another region is a communicating and data transfer, that bandwidth cost also applicable. These many things is applicable, guys. Simply virtual machine cost only generally we'll think, but instead of that one, so bandwidth cost and storage transition cost, everything is included. Okay, so here up to 5 GB is there is no cost, and 6 GB onwards. That means 1 GB each GB wise cost is applicable. Some regions is depends on the region wise also it will that cost is applicable. Suppose I am going to 10 GB totally, so it's showing that 5 GB up to free and remaining 5 GB cost is 20.62 rupees from UK South to East Asia. So 20.62 rupees for that. So bandwidth cost also applicable and storage transitions. So like 1 unit equal to 10,000 transitions, and that cost is a 0.04 paisa. Like that, everything is a calculated, guys. Everything is a calculated. So they given the one more year previously it's not given. Azure cost related exploring the pricing models to help the optimization. That means reducing the cost. So recently what they given Azure saving plan for compute. Save up to 65%, select the compute resources with an easy flexible saving plan, choose your plan and terms, and accordingly you can reduce the cost. If you go with the dev test, pricing differently, and reservation and Azure Spot virtual machine, so different cost is applicable, guys. Generally Spot instance we won't use it in real time, and most of the time we'll use the reservation, or nowadays what they given accordingly customers will go with the saving plan also. But dev test generally something you are going to product based company and starting that project is starting, and they can go with the Azure pay as you go dev test model is available, separate subscription, that is a Visual Studio subscription or some subscriptions is available, and using that we can get the more discount. That is the reason they given the Azure dev test pricing, that get discount development and test rates on the Azure with the Visual Studio subscription. With Visual Studio subscription if you taken, and you will get the this benefit, especially product based companies they can go with and they can reduce the cost. Okay, so this is a way like different ways and we can reduce the cost. If you click on this Azure saving plan and compute, and you can see what they will say, saving prices, how to reduce hourly, monthly, and how much you can reduce the cost, and clearly they given here more detail. So what is the thing? Azure saving plan is a compute flexible pricing model to provide the saving up to 65% pay as you go pricing instead of that one. So like 1 year or 3 years plan they given, and fixed hourly, monthly, hourly and amount. That hourly amount is there. Okay. So like this is a way, guys, and we can try to reduce the cost also, and where we can cost, we can see it like this. Okay, one more thing here, few small things, small tips. And in the pricing below, if you go to particular related, it's a dollar or something, might be you are supporting UK project, might be Canada project or Australia project or US project, that relevant currency wise you want. So Canada, I can select it, Canada dollars only, it will show you. If it is like US or United States, I selected United States dollars only, it will show you. And you required as a document, this is the one, export or share with the any mail ID, like you can get the as a document wise, and you can share with your manager or customer also directly. Okay, up to any questions, any doubts?
Kiran,
Yeah.
uh, is it good to ask or not? Like if a client is giving some like a Windows project for their check for 1 year or something like that, okay, what majorly thinks that how to reduce it? What, as an admin, what we think way to reduce it? As you
One
said
thing.
that is
Mm, yeah, tell me.
we can check the calculator. So
Mm,
instead of calculator is a general logic like
mm.
we can analyze it like majorly where we can save it.
Okay. Before that, one thing. Suppose you are something. It's you got some amount. Accordingly, you can plan where you can reduce the cost, and something how you can save the your money. Yes.
Yes.
Without something, it's a fast. You don't have idea about how much amount you are getting, how you will save it, how you will estimate the things. Same like here. First of all, Microsoft, how much they are charging the things, we need to understand from pricing calculator.
Okay.
Okay, after that, based on this cost only, it's your project can able to bear or not, first we need to understand.
Okay.
After that, we have to look into that. After that,
Okay.
definitely they will look into that, this much VM size is really required or not. They will check
Okay.
it. First of all, this much VM size is really required or not. Okay,
Mhm.
and these many disk is required or not. Disk types also, different types of disk is available. Okay, these all those things they will calculate it. And region also, especially they will look into that. Okay, and other things, pay as you go dev test is a model is available. Yes, dev
Mm.
test model, and depends on the company to company, it will vary. Might be your company don't have that Visual Studio subscription, they won't get the dev test related uh, discounts. Yes.
Okay.
So many scenarios are there. It's not simply we can say as a admin wise we can't, we can look into that, we can try to reduce it, that's not possible. Okay, some of the things nothing in our hand.
Okay.
So as a admin wise, only we can recommend it. That is they already define it, this is a region, you can't change it. And that particular application wise, sometimes you can't change the VM size also, because of some application wise, this is a minimum requirement they will mention. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
some application any VM sizes also supported, but specific we some application they will say these many users, this application means we required must and should this much CPU and this much RAM. So
RAM.
this is a VM size. Yes, some of the things we can't change it. If you have already you have own license, you can reduce that cost. And reservation wise, you can recommend it and you can reduce the cost, you can get the discount and reduce the cost. Yes, that way you can get it the reduce the cost only. But like without pricing calculator we can't understand. That is all. Okay, any more questions? Even I already mentioned, I hope, I'm not sure. There is a separate team is available, FinOps team. There is a separate FinOps certification also is available, guys. They will only FinOps. That means only not this is a one. Sorry, Financial operation, that means FinOps foundation, especially cloud related, is a nowadays separate team, and FinOps team we can call. This team is going to generate the multiple reports, and depends on that what you are in the cloud platform what we are using, and that cost related especially they will review it, and they will follow up the architect level or manager level or admin level, everyone it's they will follow up and try to reduce the cost. So why it's a used it, and needs to be give the proper justification, that application owners or administrator or architect who are like, we have to proper justification, otherwise they will ask you to reduce the VM sizes. That not only VM sizes, any specific resources also, why you are using and why is that required, and this is a much cost you are investing on this, what exactly this is a one, like that they will look into that each and everything. There is a separate certification, FinOps foundation or FinOps separate some like few of the things is available. Got it? Any more questions? This is the one thing everyone can normally everyone needs to be understand this point. Other than that, one more point we need to discuss here, TCO calculator. What is a TCO calculator? Azure TCO calculator. This is a total cost of ownership. This is a total cost of ownership, one type of calculator, guys. What exactly this is a one means? Generally, if any company is moving to on-premises, their own data center to Azure platform, and before that only they will look into that. Even generally we are going to something, suppose I'm going to work on this one, how much benefit I will get it. So it's like, if I'm going to do it, this is a one, how much it's a cost. Suppose you are purchasing one home, and the next 10 years, in case of this home I'm going to sell, how much returns I will get it, or land or anything. Same like, before any company moving to the from on-premises to Azure platform, it's a reducing the cost or not. If it is not reducing the cost, if I'm moving to the Azure platform, compared to on-premises, Azure platform only more cost means they won't go with the Azure platform. Yes, they need to understand that cost also. Is it right or not, guys? Are you agree with me? Like before that, they will look into that or not?
They will look.
So definitely they will look into that. Why? Because
Yes.
of, if they are moving to the on-premises, first of all, they will look into that on-premises, how much they are like, invest amount and operational thing, everything they need to calculate it. So for that, Microsoft given the, this is a calculator, TCO calculator, total cost of ownership. Your on-premises resource related everything we need to provide it here like this. Okay, Windows or Linux server, and this is a physical server or virtual machine, and Windows, and what is a data center edition or standard edition, what type of edition you are using, software license, how many servers like this, 100 servers, and process for server 2, and how many cores for socket 4, like like suppose I have 8 cores might be. Okay, RAM 250 GB or 500 GB of RAM I'm using. How many is the CPU optimization, M series of GPU, and everything you can select it, and like that multiple workloads you can add it, like your virtual machine, physical servers, everything you can count it and provide it here, as well as how many database, each database related that that license, everything, what type of enterprise license or standard license that is running on the physical server or virtual machine, what is the operating system, everything you can add the multiple database, not only MS SQL, you can select the MySQL, Postgres SQL, SQL for APS and Oracle, and everything you can select it, as well as storage, NAS or SAN, what type of you are using, and everything you can add it, and as well as networking, how much bandwidth you are going to utilizing your network wise, and everything once you provided, and it will give the adjust the assumption. That means what they will look into that, software license cost, and other electricity cost, storage cost, IT labor cost, and all other exemptions like hardware, software, electricity, which virtualization cost, data center cost, networking cost, database cost, data warehouse cost, everything they will add it on this accordingly. So click on next. And if you are moving to the same thing, cloud platform, how much you can save the things they are giving here. You can, how much you can save the cost here totally over the 5 years with the Microsoft, your estimated cost saving, it's a 18 lakhs 29,081 dollars you can reduce the cost compared to same resources if you are moving to the on-premises to Azure platform, and they will give the approximately this is a one, and you can reduce the cost. Next 5 years, if you are same thing running in the Azure platform, you can reduce and you can save the 18 lakhs 29,081 dollars. You can save it. So they are giving. So clearly they given the, so how much you can reduce the cost, and this is a called, we can call the ROI. That means return of investment. Return of investment. How much you are investing, how much you are getting the returns from that. That is a called ROI. So you can see guys, so this is a way totally on premises cost breaking and totally Azure cost breaking wise, and everything they clearly given. Next 5 years if you are running accordingly, how much you can reduce the cost, how much you can reduce the cost. Okay, hopefully everyone understand. This is also we can call the total cost of ownership or TCO calculator. Very helpful when especially customer now planning to move. At that time definitely they will look into that, how much they are going to reduce the cost, how much they can able to save it. Got it everyone? Any questions on this? So any idea, any questions, any doubts from the from on this pricing related as well as TCO calculator related, let me know. Otherwise I will jump into another topic. No questions, no doubts? Okay. If silence means everyone clear, as of now, what we discuss on that pricing related and TCO. Okay. So coming to next, what we need to understand. Next topic is a as of now we discuss these many things, and we'll try to understand the Azure Active Directory. Okay. So previously also I mentioned multiple times, what is the use of Active Directory, guys? Azure Active Directory.
Identity provider for users.
Okay, so identity provider, that means exactly authentication and authorization.
Authorization.
Authentication means what you are giving the user ID and password is a valid or not, it's going to validate it. Who is going to validate it means here Azure Active Directory. And authorization means depends on what we provide the RBAC rules. Accordingly, that authorization, that particular user or group of people will get it. That is a called authorization. Yes. So even I clearly mentioned few times, whenever we are taking account and subscriptions, automatically by default, first time when you are taking the account and subscription, Azure Active Directory will automatically create a Azure Active Directory. So can somebody ask, I'm taking the 10 times 10 subscriptions, that means 10 Azure Active Directory will create it? No, single Azure Active Directory only will get it, guys. Okay, entirely one Azure Active Directory. Under that, how many subscription you can attach it means n number of subscription. You can attach to the n number of subscription. There is no problem at all. Okay, but single Azure Active Directory only, generally everyone will use it. Okay, so this is a Azure Active Directory, guys, in the portal, and tenant ID and your domain name. That is a generally so many people ask the question, what is a tenant or default directory or primary domain? These things they will ask you. So tenant ID is a unique ID for identification of your directory. Your directory identification, they are providing the Microsoft is providing the unique ID. That unique ID called tenant ID. Okay, and your domain name, it's a based on by default you are giving the email ID accordingly. That email ID wise you will get the by default domain name. Some of the by default domain name is a on microsoft.com, like that. I can show you even what I got the by default domain name. There is a custom
Below AD
it's
connector. Go up,
below,
go up.
yes, here custom domain. So here I got the, this is a by default I got the domain. Okay, my mail id dot on microsoft.com, like that. By default I got it, guys. I got it like this. Okay, and if you want, your company wants to add it their own custom domain, they want to add it to their own custom domain. In this scenario they need to purchase the this domain name, like they need to purchase their own domain name in the over the internet, like GoDaddy, or it's a Google domains, or any, like so many vendors is available. From that you can purchase it. Once you purchase it, click on add custom domain name, and they need to provide their domain name here, abc.com. Suppose I'm providing like this, and add domain, and it will give the record here, test record or mail record. MS means mail record. Any one of the record we need to create it. Where we need to create it? In the where you purchase the domain name. Like suppose I purchased from GoDaddy. In the GoDaddy I purchased the abc.com, means under that abc.com they will give the name server. Under that name server we need to create a this test record in the their own DNS, that name server. Under that we need to create a DNS record. That test record we need to create it. Once is a created, you have to wait up to 30 minutes. You have to wait up to 30 minutes. Once you create a record, you have to wait 30 minutes. After that, try to verify it. It will try to verify it, your name resolution is working or not over the internet. If it is after 30 minutes, means because of it needs to be update over the internet in all public DNS domains. In the public DNS domains needs to be updated. It will take some time. That's the reason you have to wait 30 minutes. After that, you can try to verify it. It will work. Once is a verify completed, and you can get the like this. You can get verified like this. You will get it. Once is a verified, and you can get the your own domain. You will get the your own domain, guys. Hopefully everyone understand how to add it the custom domain for your Azure Active Directory. Okay, so is it really required is a on like Azure platform? No, it's not mandatory. Companies also not all companies not going and registered their own domain. They are not using, guys. They are not using,
Mhm.
and they will go with the like by default what they are getting, the by default domain only they are using. Okay, it's not mandatory. In case of you required, yes, you can add it. Okay, got it what I'm saying?
Got it, Kiran.
So like let's click on overview, and you can see the what is your tenant ID, and that your custom domain name or your directory by default what your domain name you are getting, and license also. What is this license? Microsoft is providing Azure Active Directory in the different editions. Different edition, that is the cost is applicable. If you by default we are getting the Azure Active Directory free edition. It's a free edition. Free edition wise, some of the features only will get it. But there is a basic, premium one, and premium two. Like that, it's a three additional different editions is available. That edition depends on which edition you are using. Accordingly, that cost is applicable. Accordingly, you will get the multiple features. Multiple features will get it, guys. By default, we'll get the free edition only will get it. Okay, and depends on the edition wise, you will get the additional features. All additional features will get it. How to upgrade it, that edition? So if you come down and there is a uh, if you license, if you click on licenses, under that there is a mm, license all products. Try to check it. No, self-signed and license futures. Yes, you can see here, and which one you want. You can try here below, and P2 edition, and some of the things they will give the P1 edition, and like that is available. If you try with the Azure Active Directory P2 edition, if you click on this one, and it will try to check it the things and activate the things, and accordingly it's a free trial wise you can use it. P2 edition or P1 edition you can use it. Okay, it's a kind of what you are using. So only Azure Active Directory P2 edition you will get it. Instead of that one, I want additionally some of the things like mobility and security related, including that one I required, and you can go with this one, activate enterprise mobility and security related. So mobile device management as well as security, those things you will get it additionally on this. Okay, so these are different editions Microsoft is providing. Depends on that which edition is required. Accordingly, they can go with upgrade it. Okay. Even companies generally they will take it the Office 365. By default in Office 365, they will get the all the edition related. You can see here available Azure AD for Office 365, Azure AD Premium P1 and Azure Active Directory Premium P2. Everything is available. So generally most of the companies nowadays they are already using the Office 365. That means they already have P2 edition or P1 edition they will go with. Okay. Got it? Any questions?
Got it.
So that differences also I can show you on Monday. Today Friday, no, Saturday Sunday we don't have sessions, and Monday I can show you different edition. What are the different features will get it, benefits we'll try to understand. Okay, and coming to and differences between the on-premises Active Directory and as well as Azure Active Directory differences we'll try to understand. On-premises what type of protocol they are using, Azure platform what type of protocols we are going to use it. In Azure Active Directory, how to create a user accounts and groups and everything. We'll look into that. And some of the instead of course wise, I will go with the different some of the things for understanding wise. I will tell you how to register the application. Okay, how to register the application, and specific some of the scenarios wise we need to understand that scenarios. That's the reason we need to understand those part also, where we can see the all devices with the Azure Active Directory, like your mobile devices. Your company is a, if you are using in your company, if you are using your mobile, it's Outlook or Office 365. Your device also, like your mobile device also, it's registered with the Azure Active Directory, where we can see it. Everything we can look into that. Okay, and MFA self-service password reset, and everything we'll try to understand as much as on this. Okay.
Kiran.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, here you mentioned like primary domain is learnwithtechie.com.
Mm,
Okay,
okay.
primary domain. Okay, like some of the company they want their on-premise Active Directory has to be merged with this account, so we
Mm,
can do with the Azure AD Connect.
yes,
Like,
correct.
my question is like
Mm,
here default directory email ID is different and learnwithtechie.com email ID is different, but
mm.
they are able to access same resources what we have in Azure.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's not a problem. Even companies they will use the by default. Suppose previously I shown you in the custom domain also,
custom
by
domain, yes,
default what I got it so and so on dot microsoft.com only I'm getting. Yes,
yes.
but generally real time companies won't create a in Azure Active Directory that user accounts. Okay, you already using the on-premises Active Directory. Yes, you are saying
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yes, yes.
And generally, where you will created the user accounts?
Active Directory on premises itself.
Yes. Once you created, you are using AD Connect. Why you are using
Like a hybrid, like it the users has to be replicated on cloud.
on cloud? That means what you created in on-premises, same user account, it will synchronize and maintain here. Yes.
Yes.
So that why required to create it here again? If you are creating here that user account, you will get that mail id dot on microsoft.com. You will get it by default domain name wise.
Okay.
But you are not creating here. You are creating in your on-premises only. Yes.
Yes.
So in your on-premises, what you are creating, that domain name only, with that you will get it here. Yes.
So, okay.
Got it? What I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
So simply you can use it. Same user accounts. No need to purchase the custom domain and the domain added. Nothing is required. In case
Got it.
of totally they are moving, they don't want on-premises Active Directory, they don't want on-premises total data center, anything, nothing. In Azure platform only, everything means at that time only they will go with custom domain. Okay. And even they want to create in Azure Active Directory only user accounts, they will go with the custom domain. Otherwise, no need to go with the custom domain in Azure Active Directory. Understood?
Got it. Can you just uncheck that one?
Okay.
Okay, okay. Okay, Kiran. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Any more questions, guys, from anyone? No questions, no doubts.